Hello and welcome back to my channel. I missed you guys so much. It's an easy one. Kick back, throw on some Netflix, and let's go ahead and get started. I always go ahead and start with brows first, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using my Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow Pencil. I am using shade number 3, which is a little bit light, but because my hair is blonder, I really like the combination of a lighter, more of a soft blonde type of pencil, and then I go in with a brow pen. So the brow pen that I'm using today is the Glossier Brow Flick. This one doesn't come in a lot of colors, so I'm using medium brown. It's okay. I love the definition that it gives drawing the hair-like strokes in my brow. It just makes it look so natural, but yet bushy, and it's effective, and it looks a little harsh on camera, and I think it's because of my lighting, but I'm telling you, in person it looks way more natural than it's coming off on camera, I promise. So for a brow gel, I'm actually using my Rare Beauty brow pencil, and I'm using the brow gel that is attached to it. I like it because it's a little bit more on like that lighter blonde side, so it gives me a really nice color effect to it. I don't know, maybe I'm just making that up, but I like it. I'm going in with my foundation just to clean up my brow and actually to prime my lid. I've been doing this a lot recently. It's just kind of my go-to. Now I kind of said goodbye to concealer and I just started using my foundation. I'm going in with a Makeup by Mario, you guys. I absolutely love this palette. I've been using it almost every single time I've been doing my makeup. So that's pretty much why I wanted to film this video. This is kind of just my go-to makeup look whenever I want to like go outside and take pictures, or if I just want to look and feel pretty, because quarantine months and COVID months, I mean, not being able to go anywhere and dress up, like sometimes you just want to look pretty. So this is kind of like the always the makeup look that I'm doing or wearing. So I just wanted to share it with you guys in today's video. So I'm just taking that first shade and blending it into my crease, and then I'm taking these two lighter shades and just further blending that up towards my brow, making sure I have no harsh lines. And now we're going to go ahead and start to deepen up the crease. So taking two darker browns in the palette, I'm just mixing them together, and we're going to go ahead and start to further define the crease. I'm sticking this more a little bit lower. I feel like I'm actually pushing my brush into my eye socket, obviously gentle enough, not hurting my eye. But I'm just kind of following the natural curve of my eye socket, and that's pretty much where I'm putting this darker color. And eventually I'll go back in with that first transition shade just to blend out any harsh lines and make sure that transition shade didn't get lost while adding those darker shades. So next I'm grabbing this Fenty Beauty eyeliner. I believe this is in the shade Space Cookie. It's their brown liner. I'm pretty sure this has glitter in it though, but feel free to use whatever kind of gel brown liner that you have, or black, whatever it may be. I feel like you could have done this step after you cut the crease, but I mean, whatever floats your boat. I did it before I cut my crease, and that's okay because I'm going to go over it with eyeshadow anyway. So this is kind of like our base. So I'm just smudging this all across the lash line, and I'm also tightlining the upper lash line with this as well. Going in with a little brush and just kind of just smudging out the edges of that liner, making sure it's not super harsh. So when we go over top with eyeshadow, it blends smoothly. So I'm actually going to take one of those dark brown shades in the Makeup by Mario palette, and we're just going to go ahead and pretty much further set and smoke out this liner, grabbing a little bit more of that dark brown, actually pushing it up into my outer corner as well, creating a nice outer V shape we got going on there. And now I'm just basically going back in with a darker shade, going in, intensifying it. This is kind of like where you'll be the judge, be like, you know what, I don't want to go darker. Let's stop here. And that's totally fine. You can totally stop there. You don't have to go in with the darker brown. I decided to drag a little bit of that darker brown in the outer corner into the crease a little bit. So that's what I did. I mean, stop whenever you want. It's as intense as you want it to be. I wanted it to be a little bit more intense. I'm going back in with my foundation just to cut the crease a little bit. I'm using my foundation because I feel like it's easier to blend. So like where we get that inner corner going on there, I feel like it's just easier to blend. Concealer can be a little bit thick sometimes, and it kind of looks a little bit messy. So I just feel like the foundation, because it's super thin, it's easier to blend, and it just blends more seamlessly into the rest of the makeup look since I do my eyes first. Then I'm just picking up one of those lighter brown shades and just diffusing the outer edge a little bit so we don't have any harsh lines. And then I'm just using the lightest shade in the Makeup by Mario palette just to go ahead and set my lid. So some of that lid color might actually go onto your lash line color, so feel free to go back in with a little bit more of that brown shade and just, reinforce that upper lash line, make it a little bit more diffused again. Go back in with the dark brown and the lighter brown and so on and so forth. You can never stop blending. I mean, literally, I feel like there's always something that you could be blending. So if you feel like it's blended, I mean, feel free to blend again. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I feel like it looks blended, but then I go in with a lighter brown shade and I'm like, no, I think I need to blend it a little bit more. You be the judge. If you want it a little bit harsh, keep it harsh. But if you want it a little bit more softer, then go ahead and blend it out. So this is me just kind of checking it out, making sure I like it. And then I went ahead and did my other eye off camera. For complexion, I'm going in with Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer. I absolutely love this primer. It's one of my favorite hydrating primers, actually. It's super smooth, super hydrating. I find that every single product that I lay over top of it just melts seamlessly into the skin. It's a really, really, really good base for starting a full face. So I'm actually doing things a little bit different today. If you guys haven't seen my Scott Barnes makeup tutorial, I'll link that down below. Pretty much exactly what I did in that video I'm doing here. So I'm starting off with concealer first, and I'm pretty much going with concealer. We're gonna go ahead and conceal and highlight the center of the face, and then we're gonna go ahead and cream contour in just a little bit. So I'm using the e.l.f. Cosmetics Hydrating Camo Concealer. I'm using a shade that is more closer to my skin tone. And now I'm going to go in with a shade a little bit lighter just to go ahead and mix in. This is technically my highlighting part, and the darker shade was more of my concealing part. But I really, really, really love doing this technique. I find that I don't use as much foundation, even though it looks like I'm using a shit ton of concealer. I feel like I just don't have a lot of product on my face, and my face just looks so good and it just lasts all day. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. This is my Dose of Colors blending sponge. Not really sure if there's like a specific name for it. It's just the regular one. I love this sponge so much. It is so stinking good. So I'm just pretty much going in with that sponge and blending everything out. For cream contour, I'm using this little cute little sample I got of some Tom Ford foundation. Not really sure what it's called, but I freaking love it. And it's not my shade to use all over my face, so I use it to cream contour, and it's so freaking good. Think I'm about to pick up a full size like in my shade for my whole face because it's just so pretty. And I actually like using a darker foundation or, a concealer that has coverage to do this, just because this is my first layer, so there's not much coverage there to begin with. So if I want a little bit coverage, I'm not going to go in with something sheer first, because then we're just going to go ahead and cover it anyway with a little bit of foundation after this. I hope I'm making sense. So that's why I like using more of a foundation or a high coverage concealer to create contour, just because it's already giving me that initial coverage to begin with. So I hope that's making sense. So I just applied it all on the outer perimeters of my face, my jawline, my cheekbones, my forehead, and I even cream contoured my nose with this. And I'm just blending it out with my Fenty Beauty 125 face brush and going to town. I mean, it's going to be a little bit messy, but don't worry, because we are going to go in with foundation anyway to just kind of marry the two together. So kind of like underneath the contour, I don't have any coverage. So that's kind of like where we're going to go ahead and start to really marry the colors together. So it might look a little quite gray right now, okay? But don't worry. See, this is where we're going in with that foundation. So pretty much going around my mouth a little bit, not really bringing it underneath my eyes. I don't need to bring it under my eyes. If I feel like I went a little bit too heavy-handed with the cream contour, I'll go over it. But I like using that foundation because you see I went over top of it with my regular foundation, and you can still see the cream contour underneath it. So just keep that in mind if you want to do this, to use something that does have a little bit more coverage to begin with. And then I always make sure that I blend out my jawline, because I go ham with cream contour on my jawline, and sometimes I don't blend it out that much, okay? Yeah, I'm human. I make mistakes, okay? So I'm just making sure I blend out literally everything. And here we are blending out that nose contour. I'm just using a regular eyebrow brush to blend this out. I actually use an eyeshadow brush to map this nose contour out. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite nose contours I've done, honestly. I'm going back in with a little bit of that lighter concealer just to further highlight, bring a little bit more light into the face. And sometimes when you blend out cream contour on, well, at least for me, when I blend out cream contour on my nose, I find that I get a little bit on the bridge of my nose. So I want to bring more of a highlight back to the bridge of my nose. So that's why I go in with a little bit on there, bringing it more on the sides of my nose. We got to get that nose snatched, okay? I'm too scared to get a nose job, so we got to snatch it with the cream contour. And now it's time to bake. Honestly, I don't even consider this baking because I don't even leave it on long enough. Like, I feel like I've watched videos where people do their entire eyeshadow look with powder underneath, or you know, they do their brows with the powder underneath their eyes. I don't leave it there long, okay? You might think that I'm leaving it there long, but I'm not. I'm leaving it there for literally maybe 15 seconds, and then I'm pushing that excess product into my skin. I'm not swiping it because I don't want to disturb the makeup. I don't want to disturb the concealer or the foundation underneath it. So I'm actually picking up a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury powder, which is the compact that I'm holding, and I'm just pushing the product into my skin, really making sure that it stays in place. And I'm telling you, this trick really works. I have super dry skin and I don't feel that my skin looks dry or cakey after doing these steps. So now I'm going in with my Marc Jacobs Coconut Omega Bronzer, and I'm just pretty much throwing this all over my face, again following the areas where we did cream contour, but I'm being a little bit more, I don't want to use the term messy, but I am bringing it more out. I'm not doing a super contoured look. I want there to be color on my face. For blush, I'm using MAC Cosmetics Modern Mandarin Blush. What a throwback, I know, but look how beautiful it looks on my cheeks. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it looked so pretty. Oh my god, what a throwback. I needed to bathe in it, honestly, this day. For highlight, I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics loose highlighters. I forgot how intense these were, but literally I just mixed the two shades together. I think I have like a rose gold type of shade and then the lightest shade, and I just mixed them together, and honestly they're so beautiful. They're super intense, and to be honest, I'm really not into this intense of a highlight anymore, but I'm okay with it because it's so beautiful. Now I'm just throwing on my lashes real quick. Real quick. I think these were Raw Beauty Christie lashes in collaboration with Pure. And I'm just going to go ahead and run that same Marc Jacobs bronzer down my nose to further kind of contour my nose, but also to really set that nose contour in place. And I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that the nose contour matches, not matches, but blends seamlessly into like my eyebrow, my eye socket. And now I'm using my Rare Beauty all-in-one 4-in-1 setting spray. Not really sure what it's called. And I'm using that same highlighter just to highlight the inner corners and also my brow bone. The lower lash line is super simple. I'm just taking a flat definer brush and just pushing up a dark brown shade into my lower lash line, and then I'm just going to go ahead and diffuse it slightly with a lighter brown shade. It's super easy. Just diffuse it a little bit. Now I'm just grabbing my mascara. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Flashes mascara, just throwing that on my upper and lower lashes. And for lips, I'm going in with KKW Nude Lip Liner 1.5, overlining my lips, lining my lips, filling them in just a little bit. So I'm actually taking a really small detailing brush and just kind of smoothing out the lines. You guys ever hate that little peach fuzz like above your upper lip that kind of makes your lip liner look a little funky? So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just smoothing it with a little tiny I think it's an eyeshadow brush, honestly. And then I'm going in with Charlotte Tilbury Nude Kate lipstick. Such a good nude lipstick. Oh my goodness, so good. And you know I'm a gloss gal. I'm going in with the Kosas Wet Lip Oil Lip Gloss in the shade Jellyfish. So good. And that completes this look, guys. This is my go-to sultry makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.